What's up, E.D.G family? Kevin here. Today we're going to be talking big news. As of Tuesday, Awaken Realms did their Awaken Realms Next, where they previewed a bunch of new content that they are crowdfunding this year. And as you know, don't normally do preview videos unless I do have some interest in them. So I wanted to go through, talk about what they announced and what I'm actually maybe potentially interested in. And I do have questions, hopefully for some of you people that are Awaken Realms, let's use the word veterans. And maybe you guys can, leave me some comments and we can have some conversations about what they released information-wise today. I will tell you straight up, I do not own a single game by Awaken Realms. I have been interested in a couple, and we'll talk about that as we get to them. But really, I just want to we'll talk this preview and hopefully save you guys some time if you're interested in what Awaken Realms announced today. Through it. So the first thing they did announce is they announced their Awaken Realms Vault story dice. So what this is it's basically an accessory line for by Awaken Realms. And if you can't tell, everything's going to be on Gamefound. So we'll you won't have to look at for anywhere else. Everything Awaken Realms does is going to be on Gamefound. So what this is this is going to be high end. I don't know how high end, but very good quality dice that they're adding for you to bring to your Awaken Realms games to add some thematics and generally make your experience better. So it looks like they have an adventure dice, they got critter dice, and they're calling this their story dice. So a lot of these are going to be themed off of current Awaken Realms games. We have like a dungeon dice, so it's obviously very purposeful for every design. You can see the one to the right is called the Intruder dice, and it's obviously themed off of Nemesis the board game. We got an emotion dice, a koi dice. Very interesting designs. That emotion dice looks like the most standard D6 dice, but it does look like it has some extra edges on it that will not make it roll like a standard D6 dice. And then you got a Towns dice. That one looks pretty good. D10, I believe. We got Space Cat, which is also, I believe, a ode to the Nemesis series. And then the last one, it looks like, is a mouse dice. So, very interesting designs on all these. Obviously, more of a miniatures dice than your standard typical D6 on most of these. And I was on the live stream for this. A lot of people were questioning, how these are gonna roll. There's a lot of different reasons to buy these. There's a lot of different reasons not to buy these. For me, obviously, it wasn't a huge interest to me. Don't have any Awaken Realms games, but they are interesting designs, and anybody that is looking to bring their experience to a different level, definitely worth checking out. The next thing that they announced is probably, it's one of their bigger announcements. The next three are all board games. This one is, I think they were the most excited about it, but for me, I don't know a whole lot about this. This is a board game based on a video game, and that is called Stalker, the board game. This is a popular PC first-person shooter. I believe when I was doing my research on this, it came out like 2007. It looks very interesting. This is not particularly what I am super interested in, but I will keep an eye on this because it does look interesting. I believe they said it's like an open world horror survivor game based on like an alternate Ukraine where Chernobyl has basically happened again. But the art looks pretty good. I would say from what they've shown off, it looks pretty good. It's saying it's gonna be 1 to 4 players, 120 minutes, ages 14 up. They do have a follow now, so have to follow along, especially, if you have some interest in that, definitely hit that follow button on your Gamefound account. But the miniatures, they're Awaken Realms. They look fantastic. That looks crazy. And a little bit more art-wise. Yeah, like I like the dinginess to it. It almost like reminds me of like Last of Us, even like Scythe. You know, it's post alternate reality. What 1920s? I don't know if I got the date on that, but anyways, yeah, Stalker the board game. Here we go. So we got exclusion zone. It's cooperative. It's zone crawling. It's gonna be story driven. And I believe you are Stalker is what your character is gonna be. Mini's still looking good. Looks like you got a little player board there. Each story consists of 2 to 4 scenarios, so that's pretty cool. And then wow, these things look menacing. Really, really good miniatures. But yeah, like I said, story-driven survival horror game, based on a video game. Speaking of this, I'm not going to cover this right now, but they did announce that they are bringing Tainted Grail, Fall of Avalon to video game on Steam. I think that opens in March. So they said this is looking like it's going to be quarter two for Stalker. Like I said, definitely something I'm gonna keep my eye on it. I some interest, nothing too crazy, but it is looks good. It's by Awaken Realms. It will be overproduced, so we can expect that. And then the third thing they announced was a game called Dragon Eclipse. So Dragon Eclipse. This is supposed to be more of an adventure game. The thing I found unique about this is it is a 1 to 2 player game, story driven. There it says designed for solo and 2-player experience. So, you know, definitely knowing that the solo play will be tight on this one is something to keep your eye on if you're a solo board gamer or co-op, you know, solid 2-player. But that creature looks quite interesting. So it's saying you're going to gather companions. It's a deck building aspect of a game. You're going to train, you're going to develop them, and you know you're basically, I believe you get to like almost battle them. A lot of the comments were talking a little Pokemon-esque, but the creatures do look pretty cool. I'll give them that. Another open world game. So many open world games right now. I got like I think 2 on the back end that will show up at some point. I mean, I'm saying 2, and I would consider Stone Saga that I think it just wrapped up its campaign. Congratulations to them. You know, I'd consider that another open world game. I have on the back end at some point coming in. But yeah, we got like an arena, ultimate test of your skills. So some kind of battling system it looks like. I mean, I assume if it's 1 to 2 players, I don't know if you're battling the second player. Obviously, a lot of this information will be fleshed out as the campaign gets closer to, and I believe this one is end of the year. I believe we're looking at quarter 4. I don't know if it just said fall or quarter 4, but yeah, these designs are very unique. I'm interested to see what they do with this. Quarter 3. So yeah, very interesting, and that one was Dragon Eclipse. And so let's get to the fourth one. Fourth one is definitely the most exciting one for me. I think a lot of the Awaken Realms fans have, I mean, I pretty much saw this commented in the live stream chat the entire time, and we are talking Nemesis Retaliation. This will be the 3rd Nemesis game in the series. I don't know if they'll make more. I guess only time will tell. But it looks not a whole lot known. Even the art is very limited on it, but box cover looks pretty good. There is something to notice about the box cover. They did say that instead of having just like random characters kind of thrown in the situation in Nemesis, it's going to be more like you are a combat marine. So there'll definitely be a little bit more, you know, a few thematic changes as far as maybe what your mission and how you're approaching it is. It seems like you're actually more like on the offensive rather than you know, the last couple of games. And this is not a game I've played. I'm going to tell you right now, this is a game I have for a long time wanted to add to my collection. And we'll get to that conversation here in a minute, but I do want to show you this. It is 1 to 5 players, 120 minutes, 14 plus. Like I said, artwork's limited, but I do think Awaken Realms does pretty good on their art when they are, especially when they're previewing games. But that's basically what this is going to tell you right here is this time, you know, you're going to take on roles of highly trained Marines. It's going to be a 3rd installment. You're going to have new tools, etc., etc. You know, tons of tons of, you know, new miniatures, you know, and this one is looking for Q4, so at the end of the year. So, super excited. Nemesis Retaliation. But let's get back to what I want to talk about. What I want to talk to you guys about is, what are your thoughts on Nemesis? This was a game that I have had my eye on for probably since it originally launched. Obviously, very beginning of Awaken Realms as a company making games. And so, Nemesis to me was always interesting because I'm a huge fan of Alien series, specifically Aliens, James Cameron's second installment. Always loved the movie. This speaks to me in that theme, in that regards. I had a chance to pick up Nemesis, you know, a bit ago, and I actually opted to pick up Zombicide Invader. I did not have a Zombicide game at the time, and that theme, particularly over fantasy, appealed to me, and I'm glad I did, because I feel like Zombicide is a little bit more approachable for a younger age. I mean, obviously, I don't condone playing, you know, zombie games that are incredibly violent with young kids, but my daughter's 8 and she does enjoy the dice rolling. It is pretty easy for her to follow. A lot more going on with Nemesis, so going back and looking at that decision, I think it was a great decision. But we fast forward, you know, Nemesis is pretty available to get. I mean, I think right now, like, it's been a bit over like 100 USD and pick it up. Nemesis Lockdown, however, you know, there's a lot of comparison videos. If you don't have either of them, they generally lean to picking up Lockdown. My biggest issue with that is it is, you know, it is priced higher. It is newer. And with Nemesis Retaliation now coming out later this year, I feel like I need to play a Nemesis game maybe before backing this. I mean, would you say that's fair, or would you say that, you know, all these games are standalone, you're getting similar experiences? If you don't have a Nemesis game, maybe wait for this, since, you know, you will be on the crowdfunding, you know, bonus train for that. Pick whatever you want. I believe, you know, you could probably go pick up, you know, previous content, I would guess. Not that I think you need to pick up 3 Nemesis games on a single campaign, which is why I think maybe dipping in earlier, seeing if, you know, this is a series I enjoy before Retaliation hits Gamefound later this year, would be a good decision for me. But yeah, definitely let me know. I mean, if you guys have played Nemesis period, whatever your experiences with it, that is the game I want to talk about right now, because that's the one I'm most excited about. So we'll definitely keep an eye on all of these. Like I said, all of them have some interest. I mean, even Dragon Eclipse, you know, adventure game, you know, grabbing companions. I don't know. I think the 1 to 2 players on that probably excites me the most, because I think it will be a very solid experience for that player count, being designed for that player count. And then in Stalker, you know, that's the other thing, is Stalker, you know, survival horror game, obviously not aliens, you know, more realistic, you know, on Earth, radiation effects obviously been done, but, you know, it's still a survival horror game, you know, so looking at that and looking at Nemesis, you know, not gonna be the same game, but, you know, isn't gonna, you know, hit that for me, because I feel like a lot of people probably would maybe like Nemesis, but they're not a huge, you know, not huge into sci-fi. You know, if it was more fantasy or what they're trying to bring in with Stalker, you know, potentially some overlap there. But that is a conversation. If you watched the Awaken Realms live stream, let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what you're most excited about. Let me know also what Awaken Realms games you've played, what you would recommend to somebody that hasn't added a single one to their collection, where you would start. Obviously, we got Tainted Grail. I have a buddy that has ISS Vanguard, so I had my eye on it. Found out he was backing it, and kind of, you know, was like, all right, we'll play your copy. So that's pretty much going to do it for me. Like I said, I want to do a quick preview. Like I said, this just broke on Tuesday. Hoping to have this up on Wednesday. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed already, think about it. I'm going to have some playthroughs coming up soon. I got some unboxings that are going to be trickling in. Like, I literally have a box right here I'm going to open. And, you know, more talks. But thanks for watching, and I will see you guys on the next one. Much love.